So it's been a little while, but after an unplanned hiatus, The Living Philosophy is back on YouTube, and starting this week, there'll be content again, starting with a podcast. So this is kind of a video just to give a little bit of an update, kind of where I've been, what I've been working on. So yeah, obviously, last couple of videos were super cinematic, kind of beautiful. And so the video on beauty is the thing I'm most proud of that I've ever made. I love it. And it's all I ever want to make. But somehow that's really hard to make. They're not like churnable, outable. I guess they come from like a deeper place. So yeah, it's all I ever really want to create, like spiritually. But I also have so many other things I want to say. And so I'm leaving them kind of have their own breathing space. And I did have a third one of those videos lined up, and that was going to be in America. And I went to Canada and everything, and stayed with my brothers there. And you might have seen the podcast I did with PF Young and CJ the X there. But yeah, I mean, it just didn't turn into that video. That just didn't happen. And while I was in Toronto, I started just like doing like a lot of self-reflection, and that turned into this. So just note after note after note, and it's all in like a Zettelkasten-y style thing. So, I'd come back and maybe today I'm working here, and then tomorrow I'm working back here. So that was really cool, and just I was kind of getting back into that beauty space and into that kind of thoughtful, deep, reflective thing, and thinking about life, thinking about myself and the future and the living philosophy and what I wanted it all to be. And then, yeah, when I got back to Ireland, that kind of turned into an AI thing, because I was like, well, I want these in my digital system. So I started toying around with AI, as seeing how well it could read handwriting, and then it couldn't read it that well. And then I got them all typed up. And then I was lost in it, because it's so much easier with a physical thing to be like flicking through, but with a digital thing it's harder. So I ended up coding. I can't code, but I vibe coded, because I've been hearing about vibe coding the last few months and how good AI has gotten at coding. So I thought I'd try my hand at it, because I wanted this graph plugin for Obsidian, and so I managed to code this, and it's now a community plugin in Obsidian. So for anyone who's an Obsidian user, you can go onto Zettelkasten Graph View, I think it's called, or Branch View. Yeah, so I made that, and then that kind of led me into a whole other series of AI experimentations. So just learning about everything that's out there, and then helping friends integrate it into their lives. And I made an app for a friend of mine who's a tradesman, and yeah, just really experimenting. I was thinking about that Amos Tversky quote, like, if you can't waste a little time, you waste a lot of time. So I was kind of in that kind of phase, and it was so, yeah, was getting that buzz of like creativity and exploration and pioneering and stuff. But then it didn't really fit with the living philosophy. So I was like, I don't know what to do with any of this from a sharing it point of view. But anyway, I got sucked into that rabbit hole, and that's been wonderful, and I'm still doing bits of that. And in the meantime, I've been sharing all these things on Patreon and Substack. So I think there's about maybe 100, probably maybe over 100 pieces between book clubs and daily blogs and all these different things that I've been writing about over the last few months over on Patreon and Substack. So if you want to know what's been going on in the meantime, you can go check those out. I'll link to Patreon in the description. But yeah, I'm now starting a master's in Jungian psychology. So it's called Art, Psyche and the Creative Imagination. It's here in Limerick, and I'm really excited about that, because yeah, I guess just reconnecting with Jung's thought and on this deeper academic level, but it's also in this kind of artsy kind of container. So I'm really excited about that, because it's kind of bringing together these artsy videos I've been working on in this more cinematic turn, and combining that with like my passion for Jung's thought. So I think coming out of that, there's going to be more of the cinematic style videos, and then more of the kind of old school content on Jung and maybe Nietzsche, and kind of exploring either educational videos about that kind of stuff, about Jungian thought, or maybe just interesting reflections on it. So that's kind of where I've been at and what I've kind of moving towards. So I'm starting that part-time Jungian Masters this week, and a few weeks ago, someone called Gary Clark reached out to me, who supported me on Ko-fi, which is kind of like Patreon, but it's like one-off support. So you buy me a cup of coffee. Maybe it's pronounced coffee.com. Ko-fi, I don't know, but coffee. He bought me a cup of coffee, and then we were messaging, and he was telling me about his work. So he was saying he really liked some of my pieces on like Piaget, and he was telling me about his work, which is kind of at the intersection of evolutionary theory and Jung, and shared the intro to his book with me, and a podcast he was on This Jungian Life, and I was like, this is really cool. It's kind of it appeals to my desire for a more rigorous depth psychology and a more rigorous Jung. So I have wanted to start a podcast for about back in the 100 days. Me and my friend Hannah started this podcast on dreams. It's called Living the Dream. So welcome to Living the Dream, a podcast about dreams where we talk about dreams and live the dream. So today
dreams and junk.
Today we're going to talk about dreams, as you do.
What a surprise!
I think we shot maybe 6 episodes, and then I just never got around to posting it. I didn't really know what we were doing with it. I've over the years I've wanted to have. I had this idea for a podcast called Agora, like a marketplace for ideas. So this has been on my mind for a long time. But when Gary was kind of saying that, I was like, you know what, you want to do a podcast? I'd love to talk to you about it. So we sat down and recorded that, and that's what I'll be releasing later in the week. And then I was like, you know what, let me just kind of reach out to more, let this be the beginning of that. So Gary connected me with someone else. I reached out to friends of the channel, PF Young, CJ the X, Brendan Graham Dempsey. So I'm going to be doing podcasts with all them, and then kind of see where it goes from there. So I'm just going to interview people that I find interesting and that I have interesting chats with, and see where it leads from there. So that's kind of the podcasty thing. And I guess that's everything. It's nice to be back. It feels weird that I've been away from YouTube for so long. It's been like the core thing in my life for coming up on 5 years now, next month. So it's weird that I've not been here, and it's really nice to be coming back. So again, if you want to find or see what I was talking about the last few months, or what I've been exploring the last few months, Philosopher's Toolkit, book clubs, all these different things, then you can check out Patreon or Substack. Otherwise, I shall see you next time. Thank you for watching. Well, I like the old sign off.